What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is episode 93 of Breaking Debates, and with me I have Ken. Always cool to have him on here. The hell of a lot.
I'm back. Back again.
But sorry for the delay. We had, life, and last week went to go see that movie, Happy Death Day. I do need to get that review up because I really did enjoy the movie, and I want to show everybody my points. But besides that, enjoy the video. Now, I know the last couple of times we were talking about possible sequels for films and stuff, but we're not going to dive into that this week.
We're going to go potpourri.
Yeah, I'm going to let Ken go ahead and take over the show because I know I've been just mouthing off too much.
He's been eating brownies is what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. Eating brownies and not sharing. That's fine. I'm going to drive me to drink. Prior to us coming on board here, we were talking about, well, I was talking about because a movie that I really want to see, and Black Panther is coming out. And they just released a second trailer for it, and man, is it freaking phenomenal. I really am hyped up. I mean, Justice League has a pretty good one. But Star Wars has a really good one. Granted, I'm a Star Wars fan by trade, so I'm going to be there no matter what. But this Black Panther one is looking really, really good. And I'm talking, I mean, you have a little bit of clips from the first movie, but there's so much more in the second one. I mean, there's some really good fighting scenes. You kind of get a little more Killmonger in there. He has his own armor in here. I mean, just look, the trailer alone, the quality of the trailer is excellent. And if they carry that on into the movie, it is going to be one kick-ass movie. I am very hyped ready to see that movie when it comes out. I'm
about to go ahead and play it so that way I can see it. Like I said, unfortunately, I ain't got the X split up, so I can't show it. But if I had it up, the background would actually be here and stuff. But let me go ahead and play it and see. I want to jump in on this too.
Yeah, we're looking at a release date of February. You watch that movie and you tell me what you think, because it is badass.
I see aliens drop from the sky. Yeah, but I have never seen anything like this.
As we pause for the video.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh, okay. It's part of the trailer.
Yeah, it's good.
I never liked Wakanda with the whole like third world look, but I like the way this movie is presenting it.
Well, it's all holographic. The whole city is holographically hidden.
And it looks so futuristic.
I know, they're the most advanced civilization on Earth, and most people have no idea.
Hey, that's cool.
There's good stuff, I'm telling you. I would be watching it simultaneously, but I've already seen it 3 times.
I wish I could have played it. I thought I had to do the X split.
Yeah, that would have been cool. We'll work on that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Let it all burn.
I love Michael B. Jordan. He's a good actor. Chadwick Boseman too.
Yeah, he is. They're all. I mean, there's an excellent cast in here, and it is going to be a kick.
Yeah, that's really
movie,
good.
I'm telling you,
that was tight. I see what you said about the suit.
Oh yeah, when it melts off and everything, it is freaking cool. I am very pumped to see this movie. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Gotta wait till February so I get Star Wars and JLA between now and then. But man, I'm really ready to see this movie.
That I ain't gonna lie. That Black Panther look like it's gonna be jumping.
Wait till you and when Claw gets his arm and shoots out the car and hits the car and he flips up in the air, runs across the building, comes back and takes out the Humvee. That's wicked.
That's pretty cool. There's just so many great movies that's coming out. Like you said, we got Justice League. We got Thor. We have Star Wars. What other heavy hitters we got coming out this year?
I think that's it for the rest of the year. I mean, big name movies that are coming out, at least in the Justice League and the DC universe. So we got a lot of good movies for the rest of the year. We got November 17th, I believe, for Thor, December 15th for Star Wars, and I think JLA is early December.
What do you think about the Blade Runner? Do you think that's going to be kind of a hit? Because I heard some good, a couple of good things on it.
I have a few of my friends who've already seen it, and some are old school like me. And they said that if you like the original Blade Runner, you like the storyline, and you can hang with it, the new movie is as good, if not better, than the original. The styling is done the same on purpose, intentionally.
Yeah.
The story has a good twist in it. It's not really slow. It's not really fast, so it stays a good pace. A lot of reviews I've read said it's pretty good. Actually, it's really good. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. I don't know if I'll make it to the theater, because usually if I don't see a movie in the first 2 weeks, I'm done. I'll never see it. It's this weird thing that happens with me, because it's kind of hard for me to go by myself or go with somebody to go see a movie at this point. But, for the big movies like Thor, Star Wars, JLA, I will go see them in theater, because I really would not want to unjustify those movies. They're just going to look so phenomenal on big screen. And of course, I like the sound and to get immersed, totally enveloping me into the storyline. I am so ready to see them. If I see only 3 movies this year, I am planning on being it for sure, those 3 plus. Even if something washes out, I'm going to see Star Wars on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's just going to happen. I've done it every time the movies have come out, and I'll see it again. So I'm very ready for it. We got a lot of good movies coming out.
You're right. Them are the only the biggest heavy hitters.
That's you're talking all the holidays. Thor's coming out just before Thanksgiving, a few days after my birthday. December 15th, just before Christmas break, where everybody goes. Star Wars is going to blow out. Justice League is going to come out, I think, just after Thanksgiving. I think it's that Friday after, Black Friday, basically. So they're going to come out in a big time, and they're going to rake in the cash until the Star Wars comes out. Star Wars is going to stomp them into the ground. Star Wars is going to make some ridiculously stupid amount of cash.
Mm-hmm.
All three of these movies are going to break it in. There's no doubt, absolutely no doubt whatsoever. Everybody at work, the people talking about Justice League, waiting for it to come out. We've talked about Justice League many times and the different layers of characters, and I believe it's going to be the Green Lantern that's going to show up in the movie. I'm pretty sure now it's going to be Green Lantern. Which one, I don't know.
I'm still thinking, okay, out of all the 3, well, it's about 7 of them, but out of the main 3, who would you want to see?
God, it's not Hal Jordan. What's the other guy? The
Kyle
second
Rayner.
one? Yeah, it's probably going to be him.
John Stewart.
No. Who was the God dang it. Not the guy with the mohawk. Hold on. I don't want the original. Being that there's a Kickstart in it, they might do that. That they'll have Hal Jordan be the one. But who's the one I was thinking of?
Guy Gardner?
The one from the animated series.
Yeah, that's John Stewart.
The one with the goatee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'd like to see in there. He was a little bit different than the rest of them. He wasn't quite as cocky, but he was pretty cool and down to earth. And in an animated series, he was really cool in the animated series. So that would be my choice to come into the thing if they bring it in. Because I know everybody was talking about the Big Bang Theory and their tie-in to the series, to the movie with their the wheel, because the wheel has like the Flash and Superman, but one of the wheel logos is the lantern ring. So, and it could be something to throw you off too, because we've had a lot. There's been so much speculation on who Alfred actually sees. I mean, it could be Superman for the first time coming up, because we know if you watch, remember Superman when he died, he was under in Kryptonian armor, walking under the ocean to come back up. If you go with the thought that they kind of talk about Supergirl being in there, but they talk about the green Flash and Alfred's lenses. Again, it could be a throw off. Who knows? There's big things. And it could be also, like I said, speculation. It could be the Martian Manhunter too.
I'm kind of
John could be in there.
I like the speculation, but I'm kind of like, I don't think it's going to be any of those people, because if we think about it, he made it seem like he knew that person. The way he said it.
He says, I knew you said you would come back. And as far as we know, Alfred's never met Superman personally.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe actually, any of them, really. He's been in the basement.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I would like to see. I mean, we've all speculated. We know the seventh member of the original Justice League is the Green Lantern. It's just there. It's always been there. Cyborg to me was not original member to the original Justice League. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, your core people. Green Lantern, the Flash, and Martian Manhunter were the predominant group in there for a long time.
What did one more?
Aquaman, but kind of blew past him real quick. Of course, now the new. Well, see, everybody does that because it's the original Aquaman. He was such a pansy, he had no ability, and now we got Jason Momoa coming in there, and it's like, holy crap! He's already
the one person that made Aquaman look really cool was the one from Justice League, the animated series.
Was that the one with
that long hair?
Yeah, and he had a Triton in his hand because it got cut off. Yeah, that was the bad. That was trying to save Aquaman from being insulted so much. Because because he was like, he came in. For those who are storylines, know who Namor is, which is the DC version of Aquaman. Namor was no holds, no barred.
Marvel.
He took names and he could fly. He had the little things on his ankles that would make him fly, but he was just wicked mean. And then you had I'm sorry, that was a Marvel's version's Namor. DC had Aquaman, and he was such a pansy. He could control the creatures. That's great.
Right.
And that's it. That's all he could do.
In the middle of the desert.
Yeah, he's worthless. So, now you bring in a good crossover of Jason in there as Aquaman, and of course you got the self-standing movie next year. Yeah, next year of Aquaman and the Flash, and I think the Flash and Cyborg movie are going to tie hand in hand. We're not getting the same thing we got with the Avengers, though. Where we brought out all these independent movies, and then we had the Avengers. We're getting a lot of the independent movies, and then a big group movie, and then some more independents again.
I think
introducing the characters we're going to see in JLA.
I think they should do like with the DC. Don't make them independent. Not all of them should be independent movies. Like
they really should. I mean, at this point, they've already. I mean, we've had Batman, we've had Superman, we've had Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, phenomenal movie. If you hadn't seen it,
but you know how they
made up for Batman versus Superman by a long shot.
You know how they had they was having so much trouble with like the Batman movie, finding the director and stuff for that. Then they had so much trouble with the Flash movie. It's like, and like you said, like the Cyborg one, just put two of the heroes together.
Well, and I thought that was the original concept, was the Flash and the Cyborg were going to kind of team up and instead of having a whole separate movie for them. We're going to get a little bit of origin story with Cyborg. I mean, we kind of saw it briefly mentioned in Batman versus Superman, where you saw the video clips of his dad in the mother box, and how
we finally watched it.
Finally,
yeah, we went back and we sat straight. Watch both Avengers movies, Captain America: Civil War. Turn around, watch Batman v Superman.
Holy crap! That was a long weekend, or a very long night.
I think we watched.
It's kind of like watching Lord of the Rings extended cut. Half your life is gone after they're done. Same thing with what was the other one? The Hobbit. Oh my God, it was good. It was good, but man, it's just like I ended up watching that over 3 days. You know, every night 7 o'clock, I watched them for 3 days straight.
That third movie, that's the longest fight scene I've ever seen.
Oh no! The Return of the King had that long ass.
I mean, Return of the King had like a 30-minute fight, and what was it, the Hobbit? The Battle of the Five Armies. It was like 2 hours and nothing but.
Yeah, that seemed like it was kind of long, wasn't it?
That was a big battle. It was long.
They're like, you ain't. That's mine. We're claiming that. Rongo bongo, just because we got rid of the dragon. Ha. Smog.
He was cool. He will be missed by no one because no one liked him.
Well, he was a smart ass dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was cool as Cumberbatch played the dragon.
Benedict, yeah.
And what was cool was if you watch the filming of that scenes or a lot of the scenes where he played, he was like crawling on the ground and doing like the dragon's animation and stuff. They almost kind of motion captured him.
Yeah,
kind of moving around like that. And then the other day I got a burr and I said, Sherlock Series 4 came out and I haven't watched it yet.
Me neither.
So I ended up watching that. I watched the first one. I love the series. I love that Sherlock series with him in it. Oddly, he was the dragon. His partner, Mr. Watson, was the Hobbit. What a coincidence. You know what?
Yeah, I like those parallels. Because even in the MCU, they're both in there.
Yeah. It's so strange, isn't it?
But I like Benedict Cumberbatch because he always plays like either he plays a convincing villain, or he plays like a genius. Them like always the two roles I've been seeing him in.
Because he played the cryptologist that broke magic. Enigma. Sorry, Enigma. Magic was the Japanese code. Yeah, he broke Enigma in that movie. I heard that was a really good movie too. If you like historical movies,
that was the movie that was trying to break the German code or something like that.
Yeah, Enigma, the machine and the code.
Yeah, I seen the trailer for it, but I never got a chance to see the movie. I probably did.
A lot of people have seen it and watched it. I don't usually go after movies like that, but I do like the character. I like Cumberbatch, so I kind of want to watch it. But it'd be one of those, if it's on, I'll catch on to it. I'm not going to kind of jump into it just because.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I end up in a lot of series. Like I started watching the new Sherlock series. I think it was on CBS with Lucy Liu in it. I was like, I kind of started it and I was like, and I came back to it about a year later and then I binge watched it for like a week or two straight. And then my Netflix account was off, so I couldn't watch it anymore.
I want to see that Elementary. Yeah, I've been wanting to see it.
It's a good series. I enjoy it. I like thinking things. I like, it's got the good balance of humor and everything that goes on with it. And I like Lucy Liu. She's an interesting character. She's brought a lot to it. And I don't remember the guy's name who plays Sherlock, but I like him too. I like his portrayal of the character.
Yeah.
The books with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he was a heroin addict. He was bipolar personality. I mean, the guy was a complete crazy nut, but super, super smart.
You know what we should do for the next show? Do a Sherlock Holmes show.
I really want to get it. You want to just go over like the variant versions of the ones that are out there that we've seen, like the ones with
just talk about the best stories you've read, incarnations, who did it the best. We'll get into that in the second half. If that's cool with you.
Yeah, I have to go pull up some names and stuff. I see them in my head, and we've had in the recent years there was this big spur of Sherlock stuff going on. So we could fill up a pretty good time frame on that one.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for the next hour if you're listening.
Yeah. But yeah,
pointing this way, and I keep like it's like you right there.
Lord have mercy.
You're more over here.
It's like you and you and you and you and you.
All you people out there. See, that's the thing you got to worry about with cameras. You forget. That's why they have that little red dot on top of the camera, so you know where it's at. Mine's green. Oh man, that's not nice. Yeah, we have a good load, and there's a lot of speculation. I'm sure we're going to see some more, but at this point, really, it's been a year for the JLA stuff. It's been more than a year for Star Wars. Star Wars is dumping stuff out like crazy right now. They're spewing at the edges for all these different things. And the new trailer, did you watch the new trailer or the last trailer for Star Wars?
Yes.
So there's a lot of like, just there's tons of stuff in there. I was going over a couple sites and they were talking about all these different things of Ren, Kylo. They actually may be brother and sister, which would be that there's another Solo kid out there. Luke, they were talking about the movie posters of all the series. Usually the villain is always top center. And in this case,
it was Luke.
Luke is the top center. And everything else is around him. So that's very interesting. That kind of puts a twist on things. What was the other thing? The cool AT-ATs, the new gorilla AT-ATs, as they call them.
In the trailer, there did seem to be one part. And I think this that they're kind of using that to kind of let go of the character Leia, where it was like Kylo was like he was about to kill her.
Oh yeah, he's gonna blow up the ship. We weren't sure if he was gonna do it or not. I already killed my dad. Now I want to get rid of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? There's got to be some. I mean, we know that we will not see any more of Carrie Fisher. And she didn't do anything for 9. So something will have to happen in this movie. Now it may not be as sudden as getting a lightsaber through the chest or blown out of a Star Cruiser's command section. Mm-hmm. But I think something may happen towards the end or somewhere in there that, that will seal Kylo where he's at. Mm-hmm. Put him in place, just like Vader, with Padme dying, it locked him in place. So I don't know. I don't want to read any more into the movie because I'm getting to that point where
you don't want to look it up.
Well, I mean, you can read extended universe, expanded universe, and all that, and there's so much stuff flowing. And even though I try to resist it, I still catch it every now and then. Like, ooh, that's really cool. What's that saying? I want to get to a point where, I still got rest of October, all of November, and most or half of December, and they're dumping stuff like the toys are dumping out, the merchandising's dumping out. We have the trailer that's come out, we have everybody analyzing it, and it's just like, at what point do you want to step away and say, okay, I'm done. I don't want to hear or see anymore. I'm just ready for the movie.
Yeah. I
don't want to ruin my expectations of the movie.
I do want to say this though. One of the most memorable moments, and just hit me. And everybody, whether it was controversial or they didn't like it or they liked it or whatever, or it was about that time, was this moment where Han Solo finally bought the farm.
Oh, yeah.
And what made it so impactful wasn't just the fact that he got stabbed. It was like this really tense, emotional moment with his son. And then the way it was shot, it was like there was no music playing. The air was like hollow, and it was just quiet.
And then all you hear that moment.
Yeah. And that's a moment where that was like used effectively. I don't think I've seen.
And everybody was like, "Oh, what?"
I think that's really the only death in the whole series that actually had me like shocked.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I kind of sort of, but I really didn't expect it. And it was like, what? And then and the way he looked at it, when he looked at Kylo, when he did it, he looked at him. And it's just I can't believe you did that. But if that's your choice, and that's it,
Mm-hmm.
The whole theater was like, you could hear it. I was like, oh my God.
And I watched it on opening night too, man, when it first dropped.
I had 2 tickets to go see that night. in the cinema, not cinema, Grand Theater, and I was unable to go at the last minute, and I was so mad. Happens. So hopefully on December 16th or 14th, I'll be in the Grand Theater watching it as the first group of people, so they don't ruin it for me for the rest of the week, because it took me forever. So do not tell me anything. I purposely didn't want to watch anything, didn't see anything, and so I saw the movie in the theater a week and a half later. You know how hard that is, especially with the movie of such scale as that, and you're like, people at work start talking. No, shut up. Walk away. I didn't watch any reviews. I didn't watch anything until that I got to see it in the theater.
Did you finally see it yet?
No, it's not my forte.
Oh, man, dude.
Although I do know that my other half and Alex got to watch it, and they liked it. They liked it.
I'm not gonna say nothing about the movie, but that movie shows you when you actually give a damn about your work, about your craft, that you can make a compelling horror story. And it wasn't just because it was Stephen King. It was the way the characters, you cared about them. The horror was done really well. There wasn't like jump scare galore. The villain itself actually had freaking personality.
I would like to see, if I do watch it, it's going to be at home, but I want to see the extended version, because there is I've been reading a lot of stuff that was not put into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Several scenes. One is like his, I guess, inception on how he became Pennywise. That's one of the things they did not put in the movie, or at least my understanding.
I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see how they're going to do that.
They already filmed it. I mean, it was done. It was just not put into the movie right off the bat, and it's going to be on extended cut. And there's another scene where I think it's in the 1800s, I believe. Something about him eating a baby is supposed to be in there, and that was taken out of the movie as well, but should be in the extended cut. So I don't know. I will probably watch it as not in the theater, but on that note, I will do that, because I know they're like, oh, you gotta watch it. And I'm like,
it is.
I'm just not a big horror movie person. I like bad guys, and I like some carryover, but it's not something that jumps out at me, and goes, hey, watch me.
I'm not saying that he like tops Heath Ledger Joker like that. And me personally, I like Heath Ledger Joker. I think he's a great Joker. But I'm not gonna say he's the end all be all for Joker.
Well, I like Skarsgård from his other series that he was on Netflix.
I know what you're talking about, because I watched it.
Yeah, we were talked about it a couple episodes ago.
Hemlock
Grove. Yeah, I watched that, and I enjoyed that series. I though I came in kind of late. I didn't watch it from the beginning, but I caught it. You have to get a good story bite into it and kind of carry on. And season 2 came out, and I watched it all the way through. But I liked his character. He was kind of a mixed character in there, but he kind of I thought he was actually related to. But
what made him so cool in the It movie was the character just has so much personality. I know the other one,
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah, he was goofy at some points, and at other points he was terrifying. He was pretty serious, and Skarsgård nailed that same formula.
It's really hard to match. Curry just had that. I don't know, the natural bad guy. I mean, most of the roles I ever saw him in he was always a bad guy, but he played such a good bad guy. Just his persona and his voice and his demeanor and his mannerisms always were like that. And he rolled that into the character of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or Pennywise. We won't call him. We'll just say Pennywise. But, having you have a very large role to come in and replace, so Skarsgård came in and I was watching, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, where he was talking about him auditioning for the role and all he came in, he missed the first one, but he came in for he got the first one, but he came in for the second one, had to wear makeup. So he's driving around in Los Angeles with clown makeup and everything, walking around and acting all crazy. And that's where he got that weird smile, that Pennywise smile.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was just completely off the spur. And he goes, but it worked. And obviously I got the part, but it was really cool of him talking about, because it was funny because he was walking around and like, being in character as Pennywise walking through LA with clown makeup for an audition. So it's really cool. If you watch YouTube or you go on YouTube, look up, Eric, or it's not Eric Sarsgaard. What's his first name?
Not Aaron Skarsgård. It's
or just look up Jimmy Kimmel YouTube and find it that way, because it's pretty funny. And it's just like, the guy is really nice kind of stuff, but then he's like playing that Pennywise character in there, and you're like, whoa, what the heck?
I was gonna because me and we were watching yeah, I had it right. It's Bill Skarsgård.
Okay.
We were watching the Scream series.
Okay. The TV series.
Yeah. And I had mixed feelings about it because we've got about almost halfway through it. And one of the problems, I've seen two problems. I've seen two problems in it, but I did want to bring a question up. The first problem I seen in the series was that they had this story that happened before the events of this by like 20 years or something like that. And they're kind of playing off like it being like a repeat. And I was like, I don't think they should have did that. And then the second one, of course, the characters. Most of the characters you do not give a damn about. And it's like right off the bat. And they continue to be douchebags.
They're like red shirts.
But it actually, because somebody made a point of it in the movie, just in the series, to say this, and I want to get your opinion on it. If you're going to have a slasher flick, can certain slasher flicks be television series?
When those movies were made, they were not meant to be. They were meant to be burst movies. Let's say that. Let's say Friday the 13th burst. I don't want a 13-hour series on the movie. It doesn't make any sense if you do that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't carry the weight. I mean, they're just meant as being burst movies. You get the character, you introduce him, he does his damage, and then he's gone. Either you defeat him or lock him up or do something. Taking a series and converting it to a long-term, movie and turning into a long-term, especially a slasher type film, no. It doesn't work. The formula is just not really made for that.
I've seen a few exceptions where I'll be like, okay, it would have worked a lot better if it was a television series. And the main one that I'm going to harp on the most, because the Scream being a television series, it does kind of work. And the reason why I said it is I freaking watched Pretty Little Liars.
Yes, that was about the example I was about to say too. And you could do something like that, but you're still going to have a central character over a story arc. But a lot of these movies are not meant. Jason Voorhees, no. Nightmare on Elm Street, no.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street, I think would work.
You probably could with that, but I think you would just burn it out real quick. I mean, it would be
because when you think about it,
I would lose interest in watching it because it would just be the same thing over and over and over and over again. Different ways. It'd be like watching Jason Voorhees. This week is power tools, next week is lawnmowers, next week would be flare guns. Like everybody dies a violent way.
Okay, why is it doing that? But, okay, sorry. But the reason why I said Nightmare on Elm Street is because, in all honesty, in almost every movie, you root for the main person, but most of the time you don't care about none of the other people. And most of the time you don't see everybody, you don't see Freddy like building, you don't see him building like this. Like when I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, one of the problems I had with the film was it didn't tell what was going on with the other characters before like all this main stuff jumped off. And I was like, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him messing with them and then slowly start picking them off.
Yeah.
Like, okay, one day one kid gets killed here. A couple of days later,
like Final Destination.
Yeah, like do it over a period of time, and let us see like how they're dealing with it in school and stuff like that. And you kind of see it, but it doesn't elaborate. Like honestly, think about it. In the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, outside of the main girl, you don't really know nothing else about the other characters.
No, it wasn't. They were just made as disposable. You had one focal point, and then some surrounding sub characters that pretty much he picked off to antagonize her. That's the whole gist of that movie. You know, they had no meaning other than being associated or pseudo friend. Again, you know, we didn't develop into those people. We didn't dive into who they were. You know, because really they were just cannon fodder. That's all they were. Was Freddy's way of getting at her one way or another through everybody around her. You know, just.
Now I will admit, like what you said about Friday the 13th. I don't seriously see them being able to do one. If they did, it'll probably be like a 3-part miniseries, and probably takes place within like, because one of my issues with the Friday the 13th series was it wasn't like an actual fight for survival. It was always 10 people. He killed off 7 or 8 of the 10 people before anybody knew what happened, and then it just came down to the last 2 people.
Well, they had TV. Well, they did do a Friday the 13th TV series, but it had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Jason Voorhees. Nothing to do with anything else. I don't understand. I think it was just coincidental in naming. You know, just being bad luck in general. Because it had tied. Now, I did watch that series, and I kind of liked it. Actually, I did like it a lot. But, you know, again, nothing tied to the Voorhees Crystal Lake mythology. So
yeah. I just
but I mean, it's really hard to translate a movie like that, though, because I mean, they're made for just the people who go see those are there to see the character do what they do, and that's kill. That is purely they want to see how badly somebody can die. You know, it's true. It's really true. I mean, you watch those movies, and it's always how, you know, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees is a perfect candidate. You know, every movie was kind of somewhat differently themed of how people died, from road flares to weed whackers to size to golf clubs to God knows. Yeah, it was just like, let's just spin a wheel and we'll pick 10 deadly weapons out of the lawnmower series, or, you know, what you would find in the campground, and people are going to die that way. And how do they die? And people like that. That's what they feed on when they watch a series like that. How do they die? It's not the fact that you have a 300-pound behemoth dude with a hockey mask on who can move at the speed of light.
Yeah. He's
dead. And he's still chasing people. And then when Jason goes to Manhattan?
Yeah.
I think was one of the movies. I mean, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he went to Manhattan.
How the hell? From Crystal Lake to Manhattan? What, do you take the sewer to get there? You know, you can't miss a 300-pound dude with a hockey mask.
Somehow he got on a cruise ship.
What? You can tell I've never actually watched any of the movies. I just read the things about him. I'm like, golly, really? He got on a cruise ship to Manhattan.
It was some people on a boat. I guess that was at Crystal Lake, and they hit a power line underwater, and it hit him when he was underwater, and it woke him up, and he killed him. And then a cruise liner somehow was like close by, or I don't know if Jason was just cruising underwater or what, but he got on it.
That's what I'm telling you. He can move like warp speed. You know, have you seen the video game that's out now?
That game looks awesome. My friends,
my kids have played it.
Yeah, Zach and them.
It's trippy. Yeah, it is very trippy. It was free to get, but it's pretty quiet. It's pretty cool. It's actually not too bad at all for a independently gamed design.
Yeah,
you can play Jason or many of the surviving characters.
Yeah, Zach and I've been trying to get me to get it, and I actually need to stop being lazy and actually get it because I actually do want to play it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you like the 13th series, it does involve you into the storyline, and it's actually pretty cool. I mean, not my forte, but the kids liked it. Great, serial killer kids. How wonderful is that? But but yeah, you can hide. There's all kind of stuff. It has a good little suspense mode to it. If you play it with headphones, it really messes with you.
Yeah,
because you're like, what was that? Did you hear that? Next thing you know, see Jason stabbing you in the freaking neck with a freaking knife, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
I think what made it me think about the whole television series, the idea was because when me and her were binge watching them, every movie was the same like formula, like clockwork, and I was like, one of the things I didn't like, most of the characters I didn't like, because they were like cliche, they were character tropes. They ain't really had nothing to them. And one thing they kept doing, I kept noticing was every movie, whenever they got to Crystal Lake, that's all they ever talked about. They didn't say nothing else. They didn't say, I got a little brother at home. I'm starting this job I'm going to school. I'm thinking about spelunking. I'm starting a garden. They never said anything else. They just consistently talked about Camp Crystal Lake. That's it.
Crystal Lake's going to be the funnest thing ever. Yeah.
And then even if you watch the scenes where they leave and go to like a town or something, they still talk about it.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah,
you can tell a kid now. You say Camp Crystal Lake, they're Friday the 13th. It's marketing.
That made me think it. Okay, this is the only reason I would say I want to see a Friday the 13th TV series. If there was Jason was going around killing folks in this area, not just Crystal Lake, but in this big area, and there's a manhunt for him. Sure, it'll be like
spawn one.
It'll be like, I'd say it'll be like, okay, somebody died here this one day. Cops get called to find them or whatever. Okay. And then somebody else dies, and then like they're searching for this guy. Like I could see that.
They could, but would you truly watch that though?
Me personally, it would interest me because I would want to see it from 2 points. I would want to see it because hopefully it would give some exposition into Jason. Maybe not the zombie Jason, but like the human Jason.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of his perspective. Also, how his legend was like grow. Like I want to see like, okay, that's
rolled into us as they're developing the case of, they don't know who's doing it.
Yeah.
But, rumor was it's Jason Voorhees, he's back, and expand on that as a slowly building series.
Think about that.
Okay, all right. I could work with that.
They'll have that moment where some people will be like, okay, we're going to take it into our own hands, and most of them get wiped out.
Exactly. They get mocked because they were stupid. It's like trying to figure out who A is. I watched that
was
show.
A joke I had when we were watching the Scream series. I was like, I already know who the killer is, and she was like, "Who?" I said, "It's A for Pretty Little Liars."
AD, who's AD? But I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming at all. I had my suspicions, but that wasn't what it was.
He just
What
are you doing? You're wearing another mask.
Look like a Scooby Doo episode. Oh, it's Mr. Jenkins. No, it's Farmer Bob. It's the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh man.
That would be a good one.
But that's pretty funny. They
need to do that. They should have made another Scooby Doo movie and had that actual happen in there. Where they take the mask off as like 5 different masks. That would have been good.
Like if they were to make a Scooby Doo movie, it's like, should it be goofy or should it actually be serious?
It's got to be kind of goofy. It's just how the show was. I mean, the Scooby Doo the newer Scooby Doo animated series are a little more serious with a little bit different tone to them. But if you watch the classic Scooby Doo, they were actually relatively more serious per se because of Velma and were like hardcore. They were really trying to solve the mystery, but over time people have parodied it to where it's always Fred and Daphne going off, wink, wink. Velma and Scooby and Shaggy going another way. It was always kind of crazy. But I love the two live action movies, and especially like seeing some of the characters come to life, like Captain Cutler and the Mud Monster.
I will admit I like the second one.
Yeah, I like the second one a lot more.
Both of them were like over the top and kind of out there, but the second one seemed like it was a little bit more grounded about it. Like,
yeah, like I like when the pirate ship come down to downtown.
Like that was pretty cool.
I was like, oh man, here we go. It's good, and they animated the characters so well, and I was like, excellent. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the third one wasn't so hot?
They got a third one
when they went to the island.
No, that was the first one.
Oh, sorry, first one. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they make didn't Nickelodeon make a live action one too?
Yes, they did.
They were younger,
very much younger. They were still in school.
Okay, I hadn't seen that one.
I did watch that one. It wasn't too bad.
What you expect from Nickelodeon?
It was different though. It wasn't Freddie Prinze and Matthew Willard and all them guys. It was a completely different crew, different younger crew. It wasn't too bad at all. It was kind of more like watching an older Scooby Doo episode.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it reminded me of, except near the end was a little different, but for the most part, it was actually a pretty decent little movie. I think they did two. I have to go look it up, but I think they did two with the same cast, which was pretty good. Because I've always loved Scooby Doo. I mean, heck, I've watched Scooby Doo forever and ever and ever and ever. I still like watching Scooby Doo.
I can't watch it like I used to anymore because we grew up on it, and I started I'm watching Scooby the old ones, and I'm like, so wait a minute, they have this ingenious invention that could probably get them like billions of dollars that could revolutionize humanity, and they spend it all just to steal some paintings. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but see, you have to think of the mentality when they were written. I mean, they're written in the 60s and 70s. I thought that. I mean,
I'm like looking at it, I'm like, wow. And the new one, the one where they're like in that town when all of this going on. I do like that one a little bit more because
there's some good stories in there, and it has a story arc too.
Yes, that's one of the reasons I do like it.
And I do like that one. I watched that one pretty much.
And the other thing about it is sometimes it feels like it's a little over the top. Of like what episode it was. It was like two Sasquatches. One was like green and one was like red, and it was wrecking a city or wrecking a town. They were tearing up buildings and stuff. I said, "What in the world is that?" And then it turns out it was two strong men up in suits, and I was like, "But y'all were just tearing down buildings. What?
It's amazing."
But I do honestly like it. It probably is my more favorite one because of the story. They do have players that's going on in the background, kind of manipulating events, and you see a little bit of drama between the characters more than you've seen in any of the other series. So I do like that one. I will say that. I need to stop overanalyzing stuff.
That can sometimes. Suspension of disbelief is a necessary thing sometimes.
Yeah.
3,000 rounds out of a gun that carries 9. It's, you got to stick with it. And speaking of which, a new Punisher trailer came out also.
I thought they was going to cancel that because of what happened in Las Vegas.
They postponed its release.
Okay.
There's a new trailer that came out Monday or Tuesday. And I just watched it today, although I know it's been out, but I watched it today, and it's like, yeah. Yeah. So it's coming. It's going to have November release.
Okay.
I believe now.
Do you know if any of the original cast is going to make a cameo in this?
Not that I know of.
Okay, it's going to be totally different. I mean, different.
It's all the Netflix MCU stuff.
Okay.
So what you've seen the character already in Daredevil, and the Defenders. Well, he's not even in the Defender series. He's mostly been in Daredevil. So
yeah,
the inkling that you saw him in Daredevil will continue on in a more dedicated series to him with a little more origin beginning to it than what you saw. It's just the Punisher in Daredevil as already the Punisher.
Okay. And
so you're gonna get the backstory, and then I think there's gonna be a continuing story arc about some things because of the way they've introduced, instead of the mob killing off his family, or killing everybody off, but he survives.
Yeah.
This one's they still get killed, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
And it's a different organization altogether that does it. So
I love
it gives them a little bit more storyline.
Dawson, I love you. I love your content. I love your work. Do not make an appearance in this Punisher series, because she made an appearance in every single one of the Defenders series. And by the time it got to Iron Fist, I was like, I don't think you don't need to be in Iron Fist. Don't stop pushing your little baby.
I haven't actually got to watch any of those. None of the Defender, not the Defender Independent or any of the other subsequent series. I just there was so much going on, so many characters, and it's just a lot of time to dedicate in there. I'll probably go back and read the stories and stuff, but and if free time comes up, I'll kind of watch the series. But I remember reading Iron Fists as a comic, Luke Cage, Iron Fist together with his traditional headband and the big yellow shirt and the things, and going in there. I like the guy who plays him, but I can't. This is too many series tied to that one. You got 5 series into one.
Yeah,
and that's a lot. I still hadn't even seen the Inhumans yet.
I ain't seen the Inhumans either. And to be truthful, I'm not really interested in it too much. I'm more interested in catching up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, yeah, I've got a taste for it, but I guess I was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1, season 2, and then they kind of went off to 3, and I just stopped watching. I don't know. I just lost my momentum. I was getting really involved in the storyline, and when they were going into Hive and all that stuff, and the background to Hydra, which was even more expanded than what we've seen in the Marvel movies, which was cool, which was really good. But I never even finished the series with Hive in it. I know how they got rid of him and everything, but I lost it right there and just didn't watch anymore.
I need to, because the way I seen the ending of the second season, where the really smart nerdy girl got swallowed up by that ooze that was in that case, I was like, you cannot do this. That is not fair. You cannot leave the series.
Not suck anybody in the black ooze, okay? Just stop it.
But it's on Netflix. I do need to catch up on it.
Yeah, it is. I may go binge watching. I don't know. You get in those moods where you want to see something specifically. I was watching a series called Timeless.
Yeah.
It was an NBC, and I got into it. I found out, I've been reading it, but I wanted to see it. And then I found out it was on demand, and I could find it like Netflix, but for Everse.
Yeah.
I started watching episode 1, 2, 3. I binge watched it for like 3 or 4 days. And I got to like episode 6, and then there's like 7 through 12 is missing. And then you come back to 13 through 17. I'm like, wait, where's the rest of them? So they give you the beginning, they give you the end, but nothing in the between. And then I went to go back and watch it. I said, okay, I'll just suck it up and watch, 14 and on, and it's gone now. So it's like, I will find it though. I was getting into that series, Timeless got saved too, which was really cool. And another series I was really liking was 12 Monkeys.
I wanted to see that. I have wanted to see the dude that played him. I liked him in Nikita, and I wanted to see
that's where he's from. I was trying to place where that dude was from. I'm like, man, I know I've seen him before. I just couldn't place where he was. I like Nikita too. I never saw the second series all too much. I like the first one.
The film Nikita
Wilson. Yeah, when it had Peta Wilson and I can't think of all that. The rebooted series, I've seen a few episodes here and there, but never dove back into it.
I need to go
They
back
had a
and
good
watch
cast
it.
in it, though.
When Blockbuster was I bought some of the DVDs from the series. I said, okay. So I was watching the older ones, the DVD series, or the ones I had. And then I ended up coming across they redid the series, and I just went through the whole series. It's like, what, 4 or 5 seasons?
Yeah, there was a lot of the original series. And I think there's like 4 of the rebooted series. I think. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really good. It kind of got me liking Maggie Q a lot.
That's her name. I was sitting there, I was like going through all the names in my head, going, I'm trying to think of her name now. And I can see her face. I just could not place the name.
But yeah, I really appreciate it. I really like that series. I did. I need to go back and rewatch it.
You ever watch Alias?
Alias, no.
That one is kind of off and on, but when they started getting to the story arc of the whole series, all seasons build into one big giant story arc over time. And it was pretty cool to see the ending of that. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, it all comes together in that last episode. You're like 3 or 4 years of watching that, and then it finally comes to fruition. So that was pretty good.
I'm trying to balance my TV shows out now, so I'd only watch like a certain number, about 4 shows, and I bounce between those 4 shows until I get done with one and I introduce another. We just finished watching the last season of Once Upon a Time.
I kind of started in there and faded out on that one too.
It actually ended off on a really good note actually. I know there's going to be another season, but
they've already started, I think.
Yeah, but it's going to be
started.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be different from the first, but it's going to be continuation of the first. But I'm like, okay, yeah. So I just got through watching that series. Right now, I'm watching Penny Dreadful, Death Note, Sense8. And I forgot what the other one was.
Sense8 is a trippy series.
Yes.
It's
sometimes stuff.
You're like, what?
Sometimes stuff happens in the series where it's like,
this is really not necessary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of not necessary in that series. A lot.
Yeah.
The actor particularly is the one that's a lot of unnecessary. And
it's a good series, and I can say that the narrative of it, like the story, is well written. Whoever edited it, whoever wrote
it's the Wachowskis.
It was good. It was
the same people who did The Matrix did that series.
Yeah, and you can tell there's a lot of stuff that happens, and it's a really good idea too. It just sometimes it's like stuff be happening. You like,
what?
Oh, okay, we get it. It's like, gosh,
the meetings of the mind kind of in there. I like the German guy.
The kind of like the
hitman or mafia guy or whatever he is.
Yeah, I think he's pretty cool.
I like when him and the actor combine together to go to get his girlfriend. Have you seen that part yet?
I think I know what you're talking about.
The abusive boyfriend or whatever it was.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about now. Yes.
And then German and him teamed up. And then when I think it was near the end of the season or the first season where the diamonds and the actor ties in to help him out this time.
Yeah, I liked how they did that.
That was good. I like that. That was like on the money good.
I think my favorite character is a Japanese chick.
Yes, she's funny too. I like her. I mean, especially when she whoops that dude's ass in the prison.
She goes through hell and everything, but I think that's part of her appeal.
Yes, I like her. She's one of the good characters. I like the actor was kind of one I started with, but he just got too stereotyped. And I left him, and I like the German guy and the Indian girl was kind of always funny. Those two are right through the whole series.
I'm on the fence about them. I'm like, so okay, I can understand y'all got this like relationship, and it's like, what was it? One was having intercourse with someone else, then the other one, the Indian chick was trying to have intercourse with her husband, but it's like they were there right there at the same time, so they're like watching each other. And I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of funny, but I think they're like harping on it a little bit too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the whole series, and it just I don't think it's an add to. I mean, I can understand there are two tensions between the Indian and the German. Okay, I can understand that there's tension there. And then you can work on that, but there's so much to that whole series that really I think they add too much of a lot of things going on in that series. A lot of side stuff that really does not help the story. I think it's a distraction to the story. I think they could take that time and be a little more develop some other story. I mean, we don't need any. There's some gratuitous, okay, but I think there's a lot of gratuitous in that series.
Yeah, I'm like,
more so, and I think it's away from the series.
See, like my problem with it is like the BPO is supposed to be like the bad guy of the series, but
yeah,
like
that guy.
They have so much going on in their lives that BPO doesn't seem that relevant. Sure, in the cop's life, and that one party girl, like
the DJ?
in their story, yeah, the BPO is like the central bad guy.
Yeah,
but to like everybody else, it seems like the BPO at some point feels like it's forced into them because they're not all having to interact with it.
And I still don't know. I didn't watch second season yet.
I think I might just a little bit of it. My bad.
Shh. I'll probably read it anyway, but the last one I saw was the DJ had the bloody nose and just dropped out like a fly.
Yeah, DJ. That's what it was. That's what she is.
Yeah, she's a DJ.
I mean, the second season is pretty cool. They're expanding on some stuff, but it still has the moments where it's like, okay,
really?
They're having a celebration.
What in the world are they? How do they do that?
Everybody's there at the celebration for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just a moment. Hang on. How do they do that? But also, they, from what I understand, they canceled the series. But from what I gathered, they're actually going to do kind of like a wrap-up episode. They gave them the green light to do like a 2-hour wrap-up or something like that. So
yes.
So you'll basically have season 2.5, and at least in the storyline, because I was kind of getting into it. I was liking it. Like I say, there was a lot of gratuitous extra stuff, but the story was neat. The abilities of being able to provide skill sets to other, I mean, that was cool. I liked it.
That was awesome.
Like the guy from Africa that was talking, and then the Korean lady showed up, and he goes, "You speak Korean?" He goes, "You speak Swahili or something?" She goes, "No." "Oh, you speak English?" "Well, I don't know. I guess."
Like that was like right there. That part where he had to deal with those whatever the bad people were,
the drug lords,
and then the warlords, and then the Japanese chick kind of like took over
the
his
embezzlement,
and she was doing all the karate and stuff, so he was doing it.
Yep.
Like I say,
let me control you for just a minute. And it was good. I liked it. It was a great story. I said they threw in so much extra stuff that they could have just taken that extra 20 minutes and moved it away and done something more with the episode. Or, I understand the uniqueness of the situation. Yes, okay, I get that, but I don't need 20 minutes of that uniqueness situation.
Yeah,
10 minutes, 5 minutes, just to get your point across. Let's go to something else.
Yeah. Snaps!
Definitely good series.
We gotta go ahead.
Yeah, we blew time like 18 minutes ago.
But we're gonna go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you guys for once again watching the video and enjoying it with us. If you like what we have said, so far in the comment section below. Let us know. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, the like, the share, the subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. And then once again, big thumbs up to Ken. He's awesome. He definitely provides so much insight and entertainment to the videos. And we will see you in the next video.